Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about URDF and XACRO in ROS. A URDF, which stands for Unified Robot Description Format, is an XML format that represents a robot model, shows the robot body layout, appearance, and extra info like joint limits and mass. URDF tutorial, a ROS package provided with the installation of ROS, gives the simplest form of a URDF file, where a robot called MyFirst is made up of a single link, which has a visual component associated with it, which is a cylinder. To examine the model in RViz, the display launch file is run. You can see the single link, which is represented by a cylinder in the RViz. URDF tutorial has a file of the robot R2D2, or at least the URDF file of it, from which the sort of full structure of a URDF file can be seen. So URDF defines the structure of a robot in terms of links and joints, where links form the robot structure and joints form the connection between links and set motion constraints. URDF uses tree structure, where joints can have single link parents and multiple child links. The structure can have a visual component in the form of 3D mesh files. By defining joint types and limits, the model can be movable. There are 6 joint types, 3 of which are represented in the model. The first one is the continuous joint, which is represented by the head. It can rotate in one dimension along a single axis with any angle from negative infinity to positive infinity. Second is the revolute joint, which is represented by the gripper. It's sort of like the continuous joint, but has limits. The third is the prismatic joint, which is represented by the gripper arm. It can translate in one dimension along a single axis. The other 3 types are the fourth one, which is the fixed, rigid, and does not move joint, planar joint, which can translate in 2 dimensions, and a floating joint, which has unlimited motion, including translation and rotation in all 6 motions. These 3 types aren't represented in this model. Next, XACRO. XACRO is a macro language, and it can be used to simplify URDF files, which, as seen in the previous example, can get a bit long. And to overcome some of the limitations of URDF. Where properties act as constants, for example, in the R2D2 file, XACRO allows info for the geometries of the base link, which are repeated twice in the original file, to be replaced. We can display the model. This is the model, but written with XACRO. It doesn't look much different. It's essentially the same model, but the code has just been simplified. That's all for this video about URDF and XACRO. Thank you for watching.